and welcome back to TFS Plays Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Grinding.
The hits keep coming.
The hits keep coming. They don't stop coming. We're answering your questions with the hashtag TFS Grinds on Twitter. By the way, I'm Lanny Pator.
Oh, and I'm Grant.
Eat shit, vampire.
Fuzzy Drainage says, hey, TFS Grinds, if you could start an original, essential app/service, what would it be? Things like that are tough because I'm like, if I knew, it would have already started. If I had some essential service that I thought needed to be out there.
Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so if I had something that I knew I could accomplish,
I wouldn't tell you people.
Yeah, I would. First of all, I wouldn't say it without having patented it first. I don't know if there were like something I feel like would be kind of fun to do. Kind of hard to say. There's so many apps for so many things these days.
There really are.
Like there's something for everything.
That's probably been one of the biggest changes in the last few years. I feel like is just like anything I can think of. There is some sort of app equivalent for.
Yeah, it's kind of the running joke, you know. As kids, you were told by your parents not to talk to strangers online and don't get into cars with strangers. Now you use the internet to summon strangers to get into their cars.
I mean, I guess it's a little different because, you know, we are summoning these strangers.
Yeah, there's a link to it.
We are not just getting random people. It is someone we are asking for.
Yeah. Jesus, this chick knows how to kick somebody in the dick. She kicks him in the dick real good.
Philip Messerschmidt asks TFS Grinds, what would Mr. Steak wish for on the Dragon Balls? I would assume love and affection, but he would just yell Mr. Steak.
He'd just yell Steak and
another Mistake.
Yeah, another version of him would pop up,
which would give him all the love and adoration he could want.
It's true. I mean, in the end, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. He gets what he needs. Tantor, on the other hand.
Yeah, and then Tantor would yell Tantor when his wish came around.
And just be another Tantor.
Just another Tantor. And I don't think he'd like that.
No, he hates himself.
It's a bit of a self-loathing character.
Or incredibly self-confident. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes with him.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us. Jackson Fitch, if you could choose any anime character to be your best friend, who would you choose and why? That's a tough one, because there are a lot of anime characters. I would be best friends with Zeno, and then I'd know he'd never erase my universe.
Or no, he's kind of fickle. He loves
at least
Goku.
Not me. I could honestly see, even if this arc goes in a way that I don't expect in that Universe 7 loses, I could still see Zeno being like, but Goku gets to stay.
Yeah, you get to live. That's tough. I'm trying to think of like all the anime characters that I know. And like which one would benefit me the most to have like be my best friend. Which is the shitty way to think about it.
Oh, absolutely. But I feel like the question is framed as such that that's expected. He gives and why.
Yeah, because I mean there's plenty of characters in anime that I think I could like hang out with, but that's tough. Jesus, poor Gohan. I wouldn't want to be a friend with any of like the heroes because then I'd be an instant target for like a lot of villains.
Yeah, you would suddenly be the ransom. Yeah, having friends that are just not strong enough.
Yeah, because I feel like being friends with Yusuke would be a poor decision. Not only is he kind of an asshole, but
all of the threats that surround him are now gunning at you.
Yeah. How many times has Keiko been put in danger just by being in proximity?
Just by knowing Yusuke.
One I feel like would be kind of easy, like the easiest to hang out with would probably be Gon.
Gon, yeah. I feel like me and Gon would probably not have a ton in common. Like,
Probably not.
he'd be nice and like, we'd like, laugh at stuff and have our shonen boyhood like fist bump and be like, yeah, we're like, we consider ourselves very close friends, but we won't probably communicate for a long time now because you've got
I don't know. I consider him a damn good workout buddy, though. I'd want to learn how to use Nen.
No, that'd be great.
All right, I'll go with Gon.
Gon. All right. Solid choice. Kevin's jacket. My question is, would you rather go without internet for a month or only be able to use internet on an outdated cell phone? I assume the one is permanent while the one is only a month, so therefore I would take the month.
Yeah, I'd go with the month, and I'd just take a vacation.
Yeah.
Somewhere where I wouldn't be able to use the internet anyway. Maybe a nice, super fucking long cruise or something.
I mean, here's the thing, like, I am on the internet as my job, but if I am recording stuff, like, I guess I would be off of streams, but I could record stuff, and technically I'm not using the internet in that scenario.
True.
So I could still be doing my job, it's just I can't, like, check Twitter and stuff, which honestly would
I
probably
feel like
be
the
good for
off
me.
time would be, like, horrific, though.
I just have... This isn't...
Because I don't have TV anymore.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. Do watch a lot of Netflix. So let me catch up on my long-ass backlog of video games that I supposedly want to play, but
How many of those require internet connectivity, Grant?
Probably not a whole lot of them.
Bet more than you think, though.
Oh, I am sure there are like patches and stuff that would border on essential for some of them.
Yeah. Yay, Gohan.
Krishan Washington asks, if you had a chakra nature from Naruto, what would it be? I don't...
That's an element, right?
Yes. I don't remember, like, I know Naruto is wind. I don't remember, like, what the different natures, like, imply. Like, if it's a personality-driven thing, I assume.
I can't remember either. Like, I know I feel most connected to either ground or water, so it'd be one of those. Maybe a mix of both.
Earth's mud style?
Mud style!
I mean, just me as a person, I always think the snake moves are interesting and fun-looking. Like, watching Bort, and I am way more invested in Mitsuki and seeing what he's up to. Because he's got them cool snake bits.
He is the most interesting character right now.
And I'm also excited because, like, obviously, like, he is obviously connected with Orochimaru, but
Yeah,
but I like the idea of it being like, no, what if Orochimaru was, like, trying to be good?
Yeah, what do you think his deal is? Do you think he's like Orochimaru's clone? Because that's what I think it is.
I think that he, like, is Orochimaru in a way, like just a clone, and basically,
And he put his soul into him
like
already.
some sort of like spirit transfer thing, and that's what. But like Orochimaru's like, Naruto kind of got the adoration and respect I always wanted. I need to follow his son and see what's up with that. And like,
yeah, but he looks like he's taking orders from somebody.
that's true.
Like it's possible. It is possible that he cloned himself and like
And is giving
copied
himself
his soul
orders.
or something. Like it's
Yeah.
possible that he literally just made himself. It's like, yeah, no, this is how I'm gonna live on.
Yeah, like, it's a form of immortality.
Mm-hmm. Frankly, I just don't see him and a woman like doing a
True.
thing
Yes.
with his undead ass.
Then again, I didn't see Sasuke doing that, and apparently he's got a kid.
Yeah, and now apparently it might not be Sakura.
Sakura's.
Who knows? Like she has so much like shit.
Poor Sakura. Like, I mean,
here,
yeah,
raise my kid.
I mean, for sure, there are lots of times where she just shows up and, kind of brings down a scene, but man.
It's unfortunate that she's always been kind of a nothing character.
Yeah. She deserves better than that.
Yeah.
Mono Warrior says, hey, what is a video game that you lovely people can remember almost everything about, i.e. levels, cheats, and secrets, etc.? So basically, what is a game that we've played so much that we know it almost inside and out?
It's hard to say because it's been a while, but the game that I probably knew the most, if ever, was Devil May Cry 3.
Mm-hmm.
I beat that game so many times. I beat it on every difficulty at least twice.
A lot of it has probably been lost to the sands of time for me, but there was a point where I knew all of the dialogue and timing and cues for Star Fox 64, that when I was going through it, I could just say every line that was coming up like a second before it happened and knew exactly where everything was.
I think I was the same
Trigger
way
stuff.
as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, because back the one game I was better at than that on the N64, the one game that I learned, like, the layout of everything, every nook and cranny, every enemy to run through and not get hit once,
Ooh.
GoldenEye.
Ah.
Like, I knew the exact spots to be like, okay, turn here, bang, bang.
I always liked GoldenEye, but I was actually pretty bad at it typically, so.
Yeah, GoldenEye was the first game that, like, I went through and I unlocked everything.
Just
Like,
got
if there
it
was
all.
achievements for that game, that would have been my first plat.
So my friends and I, we barely ever played it like a first-person shooter. What we would typically do was we would go always to the facility stage, and then we would each basically get to pick a sector, and the only weapon available were proximity mines.
Okay.
And basically how we did it was like we would set a start point and a goal, and then set up proximity mines, and it was like, you have to get from point A to point B. Go. Like, and we just tested each other with stupid obstacle courses with mines.
That's pretty great.
She's like, all right, I'm gonna hang out in my little hidey hole. If you get to me, I'll let you kill me, but you gotta get through my minefield first.
Yep. Second game to that, Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark, which I feel is just the perfection of GoldenEye.
the improvement.
Yeah, and my buddy and I, we'd play multiplayer all the time, and we'd go against, like, you know, sometimes we'd play against each other. A lot of the times we'd play against, like, you know, top-level AI, and we had a great strat where he'd throw a bunch of remote mines on my giant alien head.
Nice.
And I'd run forward, and they just
kaboom!
detonate them all on the enemies.
Useful.
The Farsight was such an interesting weapon in that, considering, like, the graphical limitations at the time. It's like, okay, oh, there's a guy.
Hey. This werewolf really doesn't want to get hit.
Well, I got perfect moves active. So that's tough shit, really. Sometimes you don't get to choose when you live and when you die.
Oh, and Galvin, if you could go back in time and tell or warn yourself about one event, what would it be? Mine would be the meteoric rise of the internet, and I would be like, invest in any of these companies, but just go for it. Just dump money into one of these. I'd also probably tell myself to lay off the fast food in high school and perhaps pick up a sport.
Yeah, but would you listen to yourself then as much as you listen to yourself?
Nah. I feel like it would have at least a little bit more meaning coming from me rather than adults that I thought did not have my best interests in mind.
Yeah.
If it was just like, no, I'm actually you from the future. Dude, I swear, you'll be so much happier with yourself if you have, like...
Just cut one a day.
If you practice these skills and if you become a bit more coordinated and if you don't get used to having fast food. If you make it continually seem gross to your mind.
I don't feel like I've had a lot of, like, mistakes in my life that I feel like I would need to correct, because I've gotten where I am because of them. But if anything, just because I had finances at the time, I'd go back and tell myself about the housing collapse of 2008 because that crushed the market. Just sell everything then, buy cheaply when you get that. I'd probably be a millionaire by now. Because the market has
Bounced
kind of
back.
figured itself out.
All these fancy carrots.
So many fancy carrots. Apparently we need, like, to have given him 1,000 for the thing I'm thinking
Oh,
of.
wow.
But the item apparently makes all skills cost 1.
Ooh, okay.
Which would be very useful
Yeah, that would be nice.
if you want to fight Brawler.
That otter, if you were a hunter from Hunter x Hunter, what would your nin type and abilities be? That's a tough one. I see myself being... I always forget the names. What's Gone where you're just
He's an
stronger? Enhancer. Like, I feel like I am not a I love the other skills, but I feel like knowing me, I am not the creative type, and I'm usually just more, just dump more points into my base stats, make me hit harder. Like...
Yeah.
Usually the kind of person I am.
You'd be just Unova.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember his name. That
Uvo something.
Uvagun.
The one spider who's real strong.
Yeah, that one dude who screams at a guy and kills him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the shit I'd do. I'd be like, I just want to know I'm the strongest one on the field. You can have your fancy tricks.
I know I'll probably be dead by then, but... Let's see, I've thought about that a few times. I'd want to be one of those ones that does, like, illusion shit, probably. It's been a while. I've actually been thinking about rewatching Hunter x Hunter. So it's one of those shows that I really, really like, and I haven't watched it in a bit.
Yeah. I really liked it and basically marathoned it all at once.
Same.
So a lot of it has, like, kind of left my consciousness, even though I just remember enjoying pretty much all of it. Like, I don't think there was ever... Like, I know I've heard some people talk down the Greed Island arc, but even that I was, like, still enthralled.
If Greed Island is the worst it gets, then it's a damn good show.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think the first couple episodes are maybe the weakest because it feels very generic shonen.
Yeah, it like once you like get into the world,
yeah,
you kind of.
But basically, as soon as the Hunter exam begins proper, I think is when it like kicks off and is great.
Yeah. Hard to argue.
Muaz Maimon asks, can guys get breast cancer? I had this conversation with a friend a while ago while working at the pool and thought I'd ask you guys.
Yes.
I assumed, like, I don't know the science behind it, but I would figure.
Yeah, they can. It's just like it's really just like if a tumor grows in your chest
area. Yeah. Mark Moto, any mythological creature whatsoever may be chosen to be your familiar. The question is, what would yours be?
A genie.
Ah, that's a good one. I've always liked griffins. I've always thought they look cool.
Yeah, however, if it has to be like a beast,
yeah,
probably a dragon.
Dragon. Also solid.
Because they can do magic. Wait, hold on.
I do magic.
Yeah. Our preview wasn't on, but I know it played.
You're like, but I know it's there.
That's what the dragons say.
Daffy Duck 4, do you all prefer the look of the older anime animations or the newer, kind of brighter digital look?
It depends on how it's used.
Yes. Like, there are some newer shows that I think look amazing, and then there are other shows that I think look real bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you compare Hunter x Hunter to Yu Yu Hakusho, it's kind of hard to, like, make that difference, because I think they're both very well animated for their time.
Yeah, I think they are both very good for their show. That said, but if the decision is basically between those two, I think I would actually go Hunter x Hunter style over.
It's hard to argue with you if it weren't for like some of the really amazing scenes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to pretend that there were not amazing and great looking scenes in Yu Yu as well. But I think just if it was like if I'm looking at a still shot between two animes that have been equally recommended me, depending on how like the digital animation is used, I will probably opt for that if I think it looks at least okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it all really just depends on the studio.
Also, I've become a sucker for widescreen. Whenever I'm seeing black bars on the side of my screen now, I'm like,
It takes me a while to get used to stuff like that, but you can get used to it.
When I was watching Avatar, that was like my biggest like
the fact that it was in like 4:3.
Yeah. Which is so weird because that used to not be a thing for me at all.
Well, of course not. You had 4:3 screens.
Yeah, because I had a 4:3 screen. But even like after widescreen started like coming around, like when it was like this thing, like we got this movie for whatever reason, the DVD and the full screen version instead. Like it was just like, whatever, that's fine.
Even though like you didn't realize at the time it was cropped.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you hear full screen and that sounds like, I get more picture with this. What a friggin' scam.
Yep. Like, because some people, like, because there are some people that just did not have very big televisions, and when you have that, like, the top and bottom, like, with the black bars, it just takes away more of the vision for you.
It just seems bad. Kieran Lenoble asks, what would be one non-canon thing from Dragon Ball that you would have liked to be canon? So I don't know if this means like a movie or...
I think it means either.
Or, okay, like just any sort of idea.
Yeah. That's hard to say, because maybe the Otherworld tournament. I thought that was fun.
Yes. Otherworld tournament.
With like the Grand Kai.
Yeah.
Pycon.
Whatever, manga purist. In my brain, it's canon. I saw it on my TV. I saw it animated.
Yeah, I remember the Super Kaioken before he did it in Super.
You see Pycon and Ulibu and them when they go and fight Kid Buu. That's all canon.
Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Ball's filler is not great, so. Including a lot of the movies.
Yeah, that's something I kind of realized. Like, if I really got down to it, there are not that many Dragon Ball movies that I think I really, really like.
The thing is, like, when you're doing a movie, you have a lot of chances to take, like, risks and stuff. You can kill characters and bring them back. You have a MacGuffin for that. Like, if Broly killed Videl in The Second Coming,
oh, man,
and Gohan just goes apeshit insane, can you imagine how much better of a movie that would have been? Instead of being, like, potentially the worst Dragon Ball movie?
Oh, man. I haven't seen that one in a while.
It's pretty fucking bad. It's worse than Bio Broly. It is the most milquetoast, boring fucking Dragon Ball movie there is.
But it's Broly again. How could it be bad?
Kind of answering your own question, really. Go, Yamcha. Hit harder. Hit stronger. May your aim be true. I might have to switch to somebody else just to make sure that Yamcha isn't like level 50
well, we can
by the time
figure out
everybody
who
else
that
is there.
Will be
next time on TFS Plays Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Grinding. Hit us with your grinding questions at #TFS Grinds on Twitter.